What don't people tell you about being ultra wealthy? The reality I noticed firsthand was that the further up that food chain of wealth you ascend, the less folks there are around, and even fewer, usually none after the first $100 million, are talking. Instead, they are looking at you for advice, comment, any kind of secret, anecdote, etc., as if you've suddenly transformed into the Merlin of everything: money, wealth, success, financial zen of zen, etc. It's such a mind-blowing and strange experience because there is also no warning of any of it beforehand. But the worst part is when you make that first mistake of assuming that because you've hit that level, that you are better protected from theft/loss, etc. This is what we call believing your own bullshit. This lesson is learned the hard way, and most always ends up with someone close to you. In my case, it was family members that borrowed my Amex and spent 2 years going to Aruba, staying in presidential suites each month, and me foolishly not checking the bill, just automatically paying the bill for that card, to save time, etc. It took 2 years and nearly $1 million. I stopped counting close to the $1 million mark. It was too painful for me to accept what had occurred, as it was my father and sister as the culprits. But rather than be the victim or get lawyers or law enforcement involved, I stuck to one of my most important life principles. I stuck up for myself and put them both on a repayment plan forever, and cut all ties to them. When it's repaid with interest, then I'll feel better about, though I'll never be able to trust them again. Plus it will take them until the next century to do so. So I figured that was a justified outcome to a FUBAR situation, so that I could move on and now even share it publicly as an important life lesson without feeling shame that it happened to me. You learn the hard way and make a solid commitment from that point forward, rather than letting others manage it, or invest it, or handle it, etc., to do it yourself if you truly want to keep being in charge of your life on all levels. Those who make excuses or hand it off to a hired whomever the fuck to be an expert and whatnot tend to take heavy losses long term, and are always confused as to why they aren't racking up multiples year after year. See, what I say to that is, if those folks were experts, they wouldn't be managers working for you, they would be managing their own funds for themselves, or maybe that's part of their master plan. Wealth does not grow you thicker skin, it does two major things for you that I've recognized over the years. One, it gives you the ability and flexibility to literally live life on your own time schedule. This is the enjoyment part/luxury arena. 2, it gives you the ability to speed up your education of the world and purposeful life you want to lead into whatever directions you like without ever having to explain yourself to anyone ever again. It's the best luxury in my opinion, though Sikorskis are a close second. I have had the chance to work with a few wealthy people from large multi-billion-dollar companies, senior management and execs who all make $1M plus a year, to second-generation heirs and heiresses to a large family fortune. All of them seem to be very down-to-earth and low-key. Even the rich kids, most of the ones that I have worked with, are not like what is portrayed by the rich kids of Instagram. I mean, that stuff is for entertainment after all, so it may not be entirely accurate. I have observed through these people that they are low-key because of the following. Many of these people live below their means because they are worried that they will lose their money suddenly, which could potentially happen if a recession hits, for example. Surprisingly, a lot of them do not drive the fancy cars or wear designer clothes that we all expect that they will wear and have. A secret millionaire that I have worked with drives a Honda Civic like everyone else. Also, I once was taking an elevator at the bank. The bank had several floors, one for regular clients, one for high net worth private banking clients, you get the point, and to everyone in the elevator's surprise, an older gentleman who was wearing an underwear-like tank top and worn-out jeans exited on the private banking floor. So this person was rich, but definitely did not show it in what they wore. A lot are worried about people clinging to them for financial gain. One thing that I have noticed about wealthy people is they hate it when you take advantage of them. I mean, most people would. This is why most of the time they act low-key, so that they get to know you for who you are first before they allow you into their inner circle. It's a personal security issue if too many people know you are rich. They are a prime target for theft and robberies. I have worked for companies where the CEOs with a high profile have had personal security and bodyguards escort them everywhere. Can you imagine a life where you have security all the time? I think it will get quite frustrating after some time. So there you have it, a take on why the ultra-rich act so low-key. Justine. In recent months I've had some personal contact with 7 people, each worth over $150 million. All but one of them have the lifestyle of someone worth no more than $5 million. $2-ish houses, nice but not wonderful homes, fairly ordinary cars, a fairly even spread of economy, coach, to business to first-class flights. Only one spends lavishly. A $2 million car, $30,000 per week on accommodation when on vacation with his family. But this guy has a fairly modest house. One doesn't even have a car, he usually walks or uses the London Underground, and for longer journeys uses Uber. 4 seem to be pretty much unknown. 2 are known very well only in their industry circles. 1 is all over the internet, but certainly isn't a public figure. Oh, all are men. Most of the ultra-wealthy, at least in my sample set, lead fairly ordinary lives.